بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له إقرارا به وتوحيدا وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We're back again for our class, our weekly class in منظومة المقدمة فيما يجب على قارئ القرآن أن يعلم aka المقدمة الجزرية, the introductory text by Imam al-Jazariyyah, may Allah have mercy on him, regarding what is obligatory, what is mandatory, what the reciter of the Quran should know. And we have finished explaining the introduction as well as the first chapter of Bab Makharij al-Huruf. And today we will enter into the explanation of the chapter of Sifaat al-Huruf. We mentioned that in general, tajweed is two things. Makharij and Sifaat al-Huruf, where and how to pronounce the letters. And then knowing how to stop and restart one's recitation. We're still on how and where. Where and how. So today we're on the chapter of Babu Sifat al-Huruf, the chapter about the sifats of the letters. Okay? We explain what bad means. The word sifat. Sifat is a common word amongst the Muslims, at least those Muslims who have some Islamic awareness, some basic Islamic knowledge. We hear Asma'ullahi wa sifatihi, the names of Allah in his attributes, his descriptions. Okay? Allah has the attribute of al-ilm, knowledge. Allah has the attribute of al-khibra, being well informed. Okay? Allah has the attribute of al-ulu, being high and above all of his creation. Okay? So Allah has different attributes. Letters, they have different attributes as well. So the word sifa, sifat is the plural of the word sifa. Sad, fat, marbuta. A sifa is a quality. It's a description. It's a characteristic of something, okay? Be it something physical or something as abstract. Something physical, like this door, has the attribute of the color, it's like brown, I would say, okay? Abstract would be like somebody being strong, okay? Well, you can see that too, that's kind of physical. Or strong-willed, okay? Strong-willed, okay? You can't really see that in the person. You can't see that physically on a person, okay? Or a person's intelligent, okay? You can't see that physically on a person. You could just tell by the way he talks, how he maneuvers, makes moves, and things like this. So again, a sifa is a description, a quality, a characteristic of something, be it something physical or something abstract, something that you can't see physically. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
So that's the linguistic meaning of sifa in the Arabic language. What's the second way that we explain a term, brothers?
Linguistically
And what do you think, Hussein?
Generally,
I would say that generally will be the linguistic. This is more of a specific meaning now. This will be a more specific meaning of a characteristic. Because what are we talking about here? What's the subject matter here?
Sifat.
Sifat. So we're tajweed, right? We're in the tajweed class. So the second way that we explain this will be the technical usage. How do teachers of the Quran, what do they mean when they explain sifats? When he's telling you, now the sifat to the letters is this, or that's not how you pronounce this letter, okay? So the second way that we explain the word sifat is the technical usage. How does the scholars and teachers of the Quran, recitation, the tajweed teachers, what do they mean when they say the word sifat? Okay? Is this clear? So sifat in this class, in the other classes, Another circles of reciting the Quran. Sifat is it's the manner on how to pronounce the letter from its makhraj. Okay, it's the manner, it's how, it's the way on how to pronounce a letter from its makhraj. Okay, it's that's simple. Okay, it's the actual manner how to pronounce that letter and formulate it in one's mouth. Okay, say it again. It's the manner on how to pronounce a letter, the letter from its makhraj, how to formulate it and say it in one's mouth. Okay, do you raise your tongue up? Okay, do you lower your back part of your tongue? Okay, do you hold the air when you pronounce this letter, or do you let some air come out? Different ways on how to pronounce the letters properly. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, question.
I have to step out real quick.
Okay, the class is recorded.
Okay.
So now, Hussein, what are the purposes of these sifats? Give me some things which you believe in the purposes of these sifats.
I'd say the letters correctly, and different varies. Like some of them are close to makhraj, so you'll know the difference by their sifat.
Sense you hit it right on the mark. Okay, so there are two purposes for these sifats. Two purposes. The first purpose is that to distinguish the letters who have the same makhraj, as you mentioned, okay, or to distinguish those who have close makhraj, okay, but for sure to distinguish the letters who have the same makhraj, okay, they are pronounced from the same place, okay, pronounced from the same place. So if they pronounce from the same place, if I pronounce them all in the same way, they're all gonna make the same sound, even though they're different sounds. Okay. So the purpose of the sifat is to distinguish the letters who share the same makhraj. Give me some letters who share the same makhraj. We learned the makharij and huruf, so I can't accept I don't know.
Qaf and kaf.
Qaf and kaf, they're close in makhraj. They don't have the same makhraj. Qaf is pronounced from the furthest back part of the tongue when touching the soft palate, this soft gooey part, the top of your tongue. Kaf is also from the furthest back part of the tongue, but when touching the hard palate. Give me some other ones.
So seen as that.
Accents, good.
Oh,
Letters of Sophia. The letters of Sophia, good. They have the same makhraj. So if they have the same makhraj, they're definitely gonna have different sifats because they're all three different sounds. So good. Sid Ali is back. Sid Ali, we said that the purposes, there are two purposes for these sifats. The first purpose is to distinguish the letters who have the same makhraj, who share the same makhraj, okay? And brother Hussein, Akhuna, our brother, he gave us an example of, I asked him, give me some letters who share the same makhraj, since we learned the chapter of the makharij, the places where the letters are pronounced. So he gave us the letters of Safir, Sod, Sin, and Zah, right? So we want from you, give me some letters who share the same makhraj.
Dal and ta.
Say it again.
Ba, del, and ta.
Accents, good. Good, good. So all of these three letters, tha, dal, and ta, again, they all come from the same place. If we pronounce them in the same way, remember the sifat is how, we pronounce them all in the same way, they're all gonna make the same sound, even though they're not the same sounds. So again, the sifat is what distinguishes the letters who share the same makhraj. Okay, that's the first purpose of these sifats. The second purpose is Hussein hinting towards it. The second purpose is to beautify the pronunciation of the letters who have different makharij. To beautify the pronunciation of the letters who have different makharij, okay? When a person properly pronounces the letters properly, and he focuses on the letters, not the word. When he focuses just on the letters in that word, the recitation of the Quran, his pronunciation of the Arabic language will be superb and beautiful. When he gives all of the letters, it's right, and that is by pronouncing the letters from their proper places in the proper manner. Okay, so this is a quick note regarding the purposes of the sifats. And we mentioned two of them to distinguish the letters from one another and to beautify the pronunciation of the letters with different makharij. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So yeah. Any questions so far? We haven't gotten into the lines of poetry. We will. Okay, but all of this is introductory. Okay, giving an overview so far, like we did for makharij and huruf. Okay, points of articulation for the letters. Okay, so now we're on how. We learned where to pronounce the letters. Now we're on how to pronounce the letters. Okay, next thing we want to speak about are their amount. Its amount. How many sifats are there for the letters? Okay, how many sifats are there? Okay, the scholars of Tajweed, they have dispute. They differ regarding the exact number of sifats. They differ regarding the exact number of sifats. Okay. Now, giving you these is four views. I'm gonna give you what we hold, the majority hold. Okay, and then I'm not gonna go into detail on why they differ, but however, as a student, just to know the numbers, just to know the statements. Okay, we're not gonna get into the reasonings behind it. Okay, so it's four views on how many sifats of the letters are there. Okay, the first view, which is held by the majority of the Tajweed scholars, including the author Ibn al-Jazariyyah, okay, including myself, okay, which I really don't have any say anyway, right? We're following his text, we're learning from him, okay, is 18 in total, okay, 18 in total, okay, and this is the preferred stance as well due to its popularity, okay, this is what's popular amongst the people now, okay, it's 18 in total. So we said it's four views. First one is 18. That's what we hold. That's what we're going to learn here. Clear? 18 in total. The second stance is 17 in total. We won't get into why and how. Okay. Third one is 15 in total. Again, we're not going to get into why and how. Okay. The fourth is at his 44 in total. 44. Okay. That's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. One of the benefits of as a point regards to khilaf, okay, dispute among scholars, okay? 2 points that I want to mention is that as a beginner in general, most people don't mention the khilaf, okay? They don't mention the khilaf, they give you the point. This is the rule, this is the number, move on, okay? This is the ruling behind it, okay? As teachers, you want to know the khilaf, okay? Because your student may read a book. He may read a book, hey, Sheikh, says it's 15 here, or 17, or say you make wudu in this way, for example, okay? As a teacher, I would say keep it simple. Just give them the rulings, but don't get into how or why they differ unless the student is on a higher level. Understand? If they have the mental capacity to take the reasoning, give it to him. Don't be stingy with him because he can take it, but everyone can't. You understand? So you have to gauge the people you're speaking to. You have to gauge the people you're speaking to. I don't believe giving you those views are bad. Why? I'm only giving you the numbers so you know what's out there, okay? If you want to know why, go research, go study, okay? It's out there why, okay? But I told you what we hold to be true, and what I'm teaching you is 18 in total, okay? And that's what you do, okay? You teach the student, tell him this khilaf, and you tell them the arajih. Rajih is like the most correct opinion, according to me, okay? According to the teacher, according to the student. I'm sorry, according to the one who's holding that view. May not be strong to the next man. That's relative, okay? But what I hold to be is 18, okay? You understand? That's just the point, okay? About khilaf and differences of opinion and stuff like that, okay? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's 18 in total, according to the majority of the scholars. And that's what we hold, 18. Now we want to speak about its types. Its types, okay? Its types. So, and it's going to be, inshallah. The Sifaat, we're going to start the poem first, okay? Start the poem. We're going to get into explaining the poem. And then we're going to get into its types and the amounts, okay? And then we're going to get to each Sifaat, okay? And its letters, okay? Clear? Who's reciting?
All the Sifats are in this chapter.
Yes, but poetry, I can't mention everything in there, okay? Because it has to be brief, okay? So he hinted towards it. You're gonna learn off the first line, okay? You're gonna learn off the first line. Pay attention, okay? Matter of fact, you read the first line. Nah,
Bab with Sifat.
everything from hifz. Everything's from memory. Everything's from memory. Bring it out. Recall it.
صفاتها جهر وذكر مستفل منفاتح مسمعة ودبت قل
منفتح. Say منفتح.
منفتح مسمعة ودبت قل.
He says the sifats of the letters, okay, are jah, that's one. Rikhwun, that's two. Istifal, okay? He said mustafilun, but istifal, that's how you want to write it down. Istifal, okay? It's three. Munfatihun, he says, but write infitah, okay? Musmatun, ismat. That's five he mentioned. Then he says what? Well, did the qul, and say the opposites for them. Okay? And say the opposites for them. That's what that line means, okay? What does this mean? I'm going to give it to you right now. So you write down these five things first. Jah, and make columns for me, okay? Because we're going to get back to the explanation, okay? This is to expose you. What's being talked about, okay? Jah, Rikhwun, what do you say? Istifal, Infitah, Ismat, okay? Put them to the side, and then we're going to get to explanation, okay? Now, guys, ready?
Not yet. Give me one more second.
No problem. Gonna get to these, okay? Inshallah. But he says, well, did the qul, and their opposites say them. Okay? So what he did is basically, I'll tell you after. Because I have to explain different types so that you can see where he's coming with this. Okay, tell you. So let's get back to his types, okay? And what these sifats are, okay? Keep those five in your mind, okay? Keep those five in your mind. You with me?
Yes, sir.
How many sifats that we say there are?
18.
Wait, say it again.
18.
What did you say? Who's saying?
18.
18? 18, okay? So the 18 sifats are two types. Two types. The 18 sifats are two types. How many types?
Two.
Two types.
Two types, okay? 18 sifats are two types. It's mentioned in this poem. I have to say that. Mentioned in this poem. So yeah. The first type is called Sifat Lazima. Sifat Lazima. You guys know this word, lazim. What did we say lazim linguistically meant? You guys remember? Like meddul lazim, right? means for something to stick, to cling to something, okay? This is sifat lazim mean permanent. These are permanent sifat, permanent, okay? These are the characteristics that never leave the letter. The characteristics that never leave the letter. These will be seen in every letter, okay? At all times, okay? Is that clear? These characteristics never ever leave the letter. Permanent. That's sifat lazim, okay?
Yes.
These letters are always going to be pronounced in this certain way. Okay? As a rule, write this down. The rules are things that you want to make sure that you write in class. The teachers, as a rule, as a principle, this is something you want to base your knowledge on, rules and principles, okay? Is the foundation. Everything else builds off those, okay? So as a rule, every letter will have at least 5 up to 7 sifats. Every letter will have at least 5 up to 7. Will have at least 5 sifats up to 7. Every letter will have at least 5 sifats up to 7. Okay? Every letter will have at least 5 up to 7 sifats. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the only letter that will have 7 sifats is raw. Type of things you want to write as well. Those singular issues. Okay? The only letter that will have 7 sifats is raw, the letter raw. Okay? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear. So we said that the 18 sifats are 2 types. What's the first type?
Sifaat lazim.
Sifatu lazima. Lazima.
Lazim.
Okay, what does that mean, Hussein?
Um, the letters are permanent. Like
The letters are permanent or
this, no, sifaat is permanent.
right? Permanent sifats, okay? Permanent characteristics, permanent attributes, okay? Permanent attributes, okay? Meaning these characteristics never ever leave the letter. How many sifats will the letters have? At least, Sid Ali.
It would at least have 5 sif. Every letter would have at least 5 sifat.
Up to what?
Sifat.
Up to 7 sifats. What's the letter that only has 7?
Well, it's the only one that has 7 sifat.
Brilliant. Okay, so that's the first type. Okay, it's the first type of sifat. The first type of sifat is sifat lazim. So got 2 sifat lazim. This sifat lazim. You see my arm? Sifat lazim. Okay. Off this we have 2 types. Off this we have 2 types. Okay. Off this we have 2 types. So sifat lazim is 2 types. Okay. Follow me?
Yes, sir.
I wish. Okay. So again, sifat. Break it down. Right here, this sifat lazim. Okay. You following me?
Yes, sir.
The branch off from this 2. Branch from this is 2. Put 2 here. You write like a graph. It's coming off 2. Okay. You follow?
Yes, sir.
Hussein, do you follow?
I follow.
Inshallah, Akbar. Oh yeah, no bad. No problem. No problem. I think we can write. I don't really know how to use the whiteboard here. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know how to use the whiteboard here. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna draw it for you though and show you, okay?
All right.
They say knowledge is graphs, okay? Knowledge is graphs. If you can write it out, you can draw it. That means that, inshallah, you understand it, okay? So we have this. Do you see this? We have Sifaat, right? Lazima. And then lazima is 2 types, okay? I didn't get to this type yet, okay? I didn't get to this type yet. You guys see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to tell you guys the second type as well on this side first, okay? Before we get to lazima in detail. You guys ready?
Yes, sir.
So we said sifat are 2 types, lazima. I'm going to give you this type. The second type, the opposite to that is arida. Sifat arida. Sifat arida. And this sounds like what? Madda lil aridi lil sukun, right? Arida. You guys remember that?
Yes, sir.
What does arid mean?
Temporary.
Temporary. I sense good. Temporary. Temporary, okay? Here we're going to say sifat arida are circumstance based, okay? Circumstance based, which is still temporary, okay? Still temporary, okay? So these are temporary attributes, okay? In certain circumstances, these attributes are found in the letter. In other times, they may not, okay? In certain circumstances, they're going to be found. In other circumstances, they may not be, okay?
Yes, sir.
Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, in this chapter of Sifat al-Huruf, the author, rahimahullah, he didn't mention the Sifat Arida in this chapter, okay? He didn't mention the Sifat al-Arida in this chapter. However, he mentioned it in other chapters in reality, okay? It may not seem like it though, okay? I'm going to tell you what the Sifat al-Arida are, okay? How many there are. You just list them out, okay? It's 2 lines of poetry actually for these as well. I memorized them when I was memorizing this poem. I may have you guys memorize it as well, okay? But you guys already know them in reality as well, okay? So, Sifat Arida, okay? Are what? Well, tell me what Sifat Arida means.
Temporary sifats.
Temporary Sifat, okay? They're going to be here sometimes, they're not going to be here other times, okay? It's 11 in number, 11 of them. 11 in number, okay? 11 in number, okay? It's 11. You guys got that?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, again, remember, when we get to explaining these lines of poetry in this chapter, these aren't mentioned in this chapter, just as a heads up, okay?
Yes, sir.
So the first is idhar. Idhar, okay? We know what idhar is, right? We learn what idhar is, right? And that's Tuhfatul Atfal, right? Idhar, pronouncing a letter clear, okay? Sometimes the noon may be recited clear, sometimes it may not be, right? Sometimes the lam in al may be recited with idhar, sometimes it may not be. You guys agree or disagree?
Agree.
The second is idgham. You learn what idgham is, right? Sometimes the lam and al may be recited with idgham, sometimes it may not be. Right? You guys agree?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes we make idgham, sometimes we may not be. Okay? Maybe the letters are far and makhraj, okay? The third is iqlab. Iqlab. You know what iqlab is, right?
Yes, sir.
Lab is when we flip the what?
Into a meme sound.
Opposite. We flip the noon sakin or the meme tanween into a meme sound. It's a
Yes,
bad one. The fourth is, what do you guys think? It's
Ikhfa.
ikhfa, mashallah. Sometimes we hide the letter, sometimes we may not hide the letter, okay? Based on what letters come after it, right? Based on what letters come after that noon sakin or that tanween, okay?
Yes, sir.
So all of these are temporary. Notice that these are tajweed rules, right? This is when the letters are mixed up with one another, okay?
Yes, sir.
The fifth one will be tarqiq, 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 okay, tarqiq, okay? Now tarqiq Some tarqiq is the sound like a, the apple letters, okay? A, ba, ja, as opposed to ah, ba, ta, ja, okay? That's tarqiq. Tarqiq is thinning up the sound, making the sound thin, okay? Making it sound like apple and not like awful. Is this clear? That's tarqiq. The letters will have tarqiq. What? Faraqiqan mustafilan min ahrufi. Right? Pronounce the letters with istifal with tarqiq. It's not all the time, okay? Sometimes the ra is pronounced like ra. Sometimes it's pronounced like ri. Ri is with tarqiq. Okay? Sometimes we pronounce the lam in Allah's name like Allah, tafkhim, really thick and full. Sometimes we pronounce it real thin, lillah, billah. Okay? It's not all the time. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. The 6 out of how many?
11.
11. The 6 is tafkhim. Tafkhim. Tafkhim is the opposite of tarqiq. Okay? Tafkhim is making it sound full. Okay? Tafkhim is making it sound like aw. Okay? The awful letters. Aw, tha, tha. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes, I would say majority of the times, Allah's name is pronounced with tafkhim. وفخم نعم وفخم اللام من اسم الله وفتح ضم كعبد الله. When Allah's name has a dhamma before it or fatha before, we say Allah. Okay? Abdullah. Okay? But it's not all the time. Sometimes we say billah, lillah. Okay? So tafkhim. Okay? Most of the cases, ra will be pronounced with tafkhim. Ar. Okay? Ra. Okay? Is this clear? So again, it's circumstance based, it's temporary. Okay, it's not all the time. Okay, these examples are just for you to understand the principle. Okay, that's the purpose of examples. Okay, in order for the person to clarify the principle, the rule. Okay, which number are we on now?
7.
7 out of what?
11.
7 out of 11. Now we have med. Med would be stretching it long, right? Like medul muttasim. Bima unzila ma'a ida sama. Okay. Med, stretching it. Okay. Sometimes it may not be stretched like that. Clear?
Yes, sir.
8 is qasr. Qasr. You know this as well, right? Qasr. What's qasr?
It's short.
Keeping it
Like,
short. So met that's short, okay? Like, okay. Qala, qila, yaqulu, okay? Short met, okay? 9th is mutaharrik. Mutaharrik, a letter with a vowel, okay? Sometimes a letter may not have a vowel, okay? You guys agree or disagree?
agree.
All right, sometimes a letter may not have a vowel. Sometimes the noon may be sakina, sometimes it may be mutaharrik, okay? Or any letter that for that case, okay? 10th is, what do you guys think 10 is based on what I just gave you the last one? Use your context clues. It's part of being a student of knowledge. Okay.
Sakina.
Ahsant, mashallah. Good job. 10th is sakina. Okay, the letter may not be maybe sakina in some cases, okay? Like we just gave you the example. The noon may be sakina here, may not be sakina in the next place. Okay. Bad may be sakina here, may not be sakina in the next place. Okay. So all of these are temporary. Okay. You guys follow?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. 11 is called sect. 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 Well, sect is when you pause, like your teacher in Jabril, when she recites Hamza. Okay? When إذا السماء انشقت. Okay, when you pause, okay, without a breathless. Even in Makira, okay, when we recite huruf al-muqatta'a, let me tell you what sect is first. Sect is a breathless pause. A breathless pause, okay? Now Abu Ja'far, we recite alif, lam, mim. All the huruf al-muqatta'a, okay? Ta, ha, okay? Ha, mim. This is sect. Sometimes it may be sect, sometimes you may not have sect. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So those are the 11. Let's get back to the poem now, okay? And get back to the sifats. And what's the second type of sifats?
Sifat a'rida.
Okay, it's
Arida.
because we just talked about the arida, right?
Yes,
We
sir.
back on lazim, okay? Back on lazim, okay? Let's get to explaining lazim, okay? So we said that sifats are how many types?
18.
18 sifat.
Listen up to the question. I said,
Two types.
I said sifats are, what do you call it? How many types?
Two.
2 types, okay? What's the first type?
Sifat lazima.
What's sifat lazima?
It's the permanent sifat is where the characteristic will never change. But the
Right.
characteristic it won't change.
The characteristic will never leave the letter. The letter will always be pronounced with this characteristic in this way. Okay. Every letter will have how many? What? How many?
5 to 7 sifat.
5 to 7. Okay. Good. And then we stepped away from the poem. Okay. And we got to sifat al-arida. Okay. The opposite to it. Temporary sifat. Right. You guys agree?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
We said that it's 11 of these. Okay. These basically are kind of like the tajweed rules. Okay. How to pronounce the letters when they're mixed with other letters, okay? The arida, okay?
sir.
Follow?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, all right. All right, now we're gonna get to explaining the sifat al-lazim, okay? As a point, listen up. The 18, we said it's 18 sifats. These 18 is talking about the arida. I'm sorry, the lazim, okay? 18 is talking about the lazim. 18 is talking about the lazim, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. You follow? You guys follow me?
Sir.
Sir.
Okay. All right. So now we got Sifat al-Lazima. We back here. Permanent. These are 2 types. These are 2 types. The Lazima is 2 types. Okay. The permanent attributes, there are 2 types. Okay. The first type are those with opposites. Those with opposites. Okay. Those with opposites. Okay. For example, one letter had maybe start strong, another maybe a weaker letter. Okay. So the first is those with opposites. Okay. And that's why he said, well, did the qul? Well, did the qul in their opposites say them? Okay. So let's get back to the poem now. He says, what? Recite the line of poetry.
صفاتها جهر ورخ مستفل منفتح مسمعة مرتد قل.
He gave us 5 sifats here. He says, with jahr, sifatu jahrun, ورخ, mustafil istifal, munfatihun infitah, musmatatun, and ismat. He gave us 5. Well, did the qul in their opposites say them? Okay. Their opposites say them. So those with opposites, he's going to mention them in the poem, okay? Coming up next, okay? But he's not going to, you guys follow me so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So those were opposites are 11 in total, okay? One of the categories, they have 3. It's like a middleman, okay? So those were opposites are 11 in total. Put 11 in total. 11, okay? 11, okay? Follow?
Mhm.
So he mentioned 5. He said jah, rikhun, istifal, infitah, ismat. You guys see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Every opposite is, if it has an opposite, then that means what? Times 2, right?
Mm.
So that's 10 right there, right? We said it's 11. One of the attributes, rikhun, in its opposite, rikhun and its opposite have a middleman, okay? Have a middle one, okay? So that makes it 11. You guys follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So those were opposites are 11 in total. 11 in total, okay? 11 in total. Follow? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So after he mentioned that first line, now he's going to go through the next few lines. He's going to mention the opposites of the ones that he just mentioned. So he says jahr. He's going to mention the opposite of jahr in its letters. Okay. Mahmusuha fahathahu shakhsun sakat. Okay. That's the opposite of jahr. Okay. Then he says, what? What's after jahr? He said, jahrun.
جهر
Say it again.
رخو
Rikhun. So he says that, then he's going to give the opposite of rikhun. Shadiduha lafdhu ajidaqatin bakets, the letters of shadid. Okay. You guys, you following so far?
Yes, sir.
You said no or yes. I got moss in your face. You're not following. No problem. No problem.
Jihad, just the opposite of jihad. I forgot. You said already.
You're gonna see it. So follow first. The first line, right? He gives 5 sifats. You agree with that?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
He gives 5. Then he says, well, did the qul, in their opposites say them. Okay. Then each line, the next few lines, he's gonna give the opposite of the one that he mentioned. So the first opposite he's gonna mention is what? The opposite of what?
جهر
Jihad.
Jahr. Then the next opposite is gonna be the opposite of what?
Rikhon.
Then the next opposite is gonna be the opposite of what?
Infitah.
Okay. After though, he's gonna give he's gonna give that middleman though. Okay, what bayna rikhun wa shadidun okay. Then but after that, he's gonna give the opposite of what? What you said?
Infitah.
Infitah is gonna give the opposite of that. Okay. Then he's gonna give the opposite of what?
Infitah.
Infitah. Then he's gonna give the opposite of what?
Ismat.
Smat. Okay. You guys following me? We're gonna go through
Yes.
each of the 11 sifats though. Okay. I'm gonna go through each one of them.
Question.
Yes.
I was looking at the poem as well to number the 5 sifat,
Mhm.
and I cannot find infitah in the line.
Munfatihun. Munfatihun. Okay. Munfatihun. Okay.
جهر رخو مستفل, correct?
Mustafil. Mustafil. Referring to the sifat, you will call the letter mustafil. Okay. You say this letter is mustafil, but the attribute is called istifal. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So then he says munfatihun. You would say that this letter is a letter, this is a munfatihun letter. However, what's the attributes called infitaz? Just like you're a Muslim, right? But your religion is al-Islam. Okay. I call you a Muslim, I don't call you Islam, okay? But you ascribe to Islam, okay? You understand?
Yes, sir.
So the letters are, that's how you would pronounce, say the letter. This letter is munfatihun, this letter is musmatun, okay? Musmitun.
Yes, sir.
Okay? You got me?
Yes, sir. Now I got it. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So let's run it down, okay? How many, those were opposites of how many in total?
11.
11. Okay, let's go to the first one. Okay, let's go to the first one. So the first one we're gonna number it as is humps. Humps. Humps is the opposite of jahr. Humps. 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 Okay. Humps means a whisper. Okay? Hums is a whisper. Allah mentions this word in the Quran. Surah Al-Taha.
And Jahar is heavy.
Slow down. Slow down. Okay? Slow down. We're going to get to Jahar, what it means, okay? But hums means to whisper, okay? Hums linguistically means to whisper, okay? Trying to think of the I. أيوة. صفصفا لا ترى فيها عوجا ولا همسا. Okay? That's wrong, what I said. Nah, I was wrong with the ayat I mentioned. Right after, though, Allah mentions, وَخَشِعَتِ الْأَصْوَاتُ لِلرَّحْمَنِ فَلَا تَسْمَعُ إِلَّا هَمْسًا. Allah mentions the horrors and the events that's going to happen on the Day of Judgment. He says, وَخَشِعَتِ الْأَصْوَاتُ لِلرَّحْمَنِ, and all sounds will be humbled and lowered for Ar-Rahman. فَلَا تَسْمَعُ إِلَّا هَمْسًا. You won't hear anything except a whisper. Okay? فَلَا تَسْمَعُ إِلَّا هَمْسًا. Okay? Hams means whisper. These are the whispering letters, okay? That's the first sifa, okay? Follow him?
Sir.
Okay, the first sifa is called, the letter is humps and is whispering. These are the whispering letters, okay? What does it mean? Okay, when the letters of your Tajweed teacher was talking about, it's the letter humps. What does it mean now? Okay, we're gonna tell you. What's it technically mean? What's the term? If I say it's a humps letter, what does it mean? Following?
Yes, sir.
These humps is the flowing or release of breath of air that continues slightly after pronouncing one of its letters. It's the flowing or release of air or some type of breath once you pronounce that letter, one of its letters, okay? It's the flowing or release of air, okay, or breath that continues slightly after pronouncing the letters, okay? Due to a weak dependence on the makhraj. Due to a weak dependence on the makhraj, okay? So when I say F, S, Esh, Et, Ek, okay? As, all these letters have some whispering to it, okay? Is a flow of breath, okay? Flow of breath after you pronounce that letter, okay? Or flow of air, okay? F, Esh, S, F, فحثه شخص سكت, right? So, humps again is the flowing or release of breath or air that continues slightly after pronouncing one of its letters. Due to a weak dependence on the makhraj, meaning these letters aren't tied and stuck to their makhraj so much when you pronounce it, okay? When I say F, all I gotta do is put my four front teeth on my lip and the sound, the air is coming out, F. It's not like I said F, can't even come out, or F comes out. As soon as I say F, put the F, some air comes out, S, okay? Some air comes out when you pronounce these letters. Why? Because these letters don't have a heavy dependence on their makhraj, on where they're pronounced from, okay? It doesn't need to stick on it like that. As opposed to I'll say eb. I can't even pronounce a letter if I don't release my lips. Eb, okay? Up, hop, sound and breath don't even come out, okay? You follow? Okay, so we said humps means whispering. Remember, how do you remember humps? Just remember flow of breath, flow of air, okay? Flow of air, okay? Flow of air, okay? That's how I remember it. That's the key word, flow of air, okay? Flow of air after, okay? Now we want to speak about the amount of letters. It's 10 letters, 10 letters, 10 letters, 10 letters of humps. You following me? Hussein look confused today.
No, I'm following you.
Okay. So let's go back. Okay. What's the first sifa we mentioned? For those who are opposites.
Sifat lazima.
Okay. Go back. So sifat, those were opposites, right? Following me? What's the first one we mentioned?
Jahr.
Before that, I didn't give you jahr first. I'm gonna tell you why I didn't give you jahr first, okay? I didn't give you jahr first. I gave you his opposite first. I gave you humps first. Okay, I gave you humps first, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why after we explain this. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, so those were opposites are how many in total?
11.
11. You agree, Hussein, or no?
Yes, sir.
11. Okay. The first one we gave you was humps. Okay, humps. The letters of humps. Okay. What does humps mean, Hussein? Linguistically, just in the Arabic language. Whisper. Whisper. Okay, whisper. What does it mean as a term when your tajweed teacher talks about a Sir Ali?
It's the flowing of the air that comes after when pronouncing the letter.
I sense. Good. Okay. How many letters? 10 letters. Amount of letters? 10 letters. Okay. All found in the code. He says, what? We're gonna get back to the poem. Mahmusuha fahathahu shakhsun seconds. He said the mahmusuha, the letters of humps are in the statement fahathahu shakhsun seconds. These letters. فحثه شخص سدس ف ح إح ث أث هو إه الله شخص شين أش okay من الشيطان الرجيم okay خ شخص okay أخ okay بخس okay what's after sheen شخص Sod, right? Sod. Okay. As-sirat, okay? Flowing of air, okay? تحثه شخص second, seen, okay? Bes, okay? Seen. Calf, ek, you heard that? Ek, okay? Shirkikum, okay? Intad, X. إذا السماء شقت humps, okay? You follow? Okay. What's the opposite of humps?
Yeah.
Jahr. Okay. Jahr. Good. I didn't give jahr first because how many letters does humps have?
10.
10. Okay, 10. All the remaining letters are jahr. So I gave you humps first because if you know all the letters are humps, it's not a letter of humps is a letter of what?
Yeah.
So it's all the remaining letters, okay? Besides humps, okay? That's why I didn't give you it first, okay? All right, so the second sifa is what? Here, jahr, right? Jahr. Following me?
Yes, sir.
Jahr means loud or apparent, okay? Loud or apparent, okay? These letters are loud, okay? Where is this word mentioned? This word mentioned in the Quran. Juz'am.
Loud.
Yeah. See where you guys Quran at. Those got to bring, okay? Juz'am, okay? Where is it? Her father, right? Father Juz'am. It's your vocabulary. You getting words vocabulary from the Quran. Innahu ya'lamul. Innahu ya'lamul. Come on, ikhwa. Allahu Akbar. إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى ونيسرك لليسرى سورة الأعلى إلا ما شاء الله إنه يعلم الجهر وما يخفى okay He knows what's jahr. He knows what's said out loud, what's apparent, what's seen, وَمَا يَخْفَى, and what's hidden. Okay? Allah. Okay? Allah's knowledge is all encompassing. Okay. So jahr linguistically means what?
Whisper. No, it was loud, sorry.
Allah Akbar. You were strong on that too. He said whisper, like he knew it. Okay, good. It means loud.
And I seen whisper, but you said jihad. I was like, I don't know.
So jahr is loud. Loud. Okay, loud. Is it loud or apparent? Okay, good. As a term, as a technical term, when your tajweed teacher uses it, or scholars of tajweed use it, when they say this is a letter of jahr, okay, is what? It's the opposite of humps, right? Humps is the flowing of breath after pronouncing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So jahr is the trapping of breath when pronouncing one of its letters. The trapping of breath, the trapping of the flow of breath when pronouncing one of his letters. The trapping of the flow of breath when pronouncing one of these letters. Meaning, when I pronounce these letters, no air comes out. You know, okay? Can't, you don't hear, you don't get any air coming out, right? Okay? What we have? Give me another. Like dal, right? You don't hear any letter coming out, any air coming out, okay? You guys agree or disagree?
Agree.
Okay. Hop. Pronounce cough. Hop. No air comes out, okay? Mean, no air comes out, okay? Noon, and no air comes out, okay? So, jahr is the trapping of the flow of breath when pronouncing one of his letters due to a heavy dependence on the makhraj. Due to a heavy dependence on the makhraj, a strong dependence on the makhraj. The letters attached to the makhraj a lot when you pronounce these letters. Okay? When I say bad, my letters stuck, my lips are stuck to each other. Okay? Okay? The letters are attached, the letters attached to the makhraj a lot. That's what we say when it has a heavy dependence on the makhraj, okay? The letters attached to the makhraj a lot when you pronounce these letters. Hop. Okay? All right.
Yes, sir.
Clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So the amount of letters. What's the amount of letters of jahr?
Is the next line? Shadid do have.
La. What's the amount of letters in jahr? We said it's 10 for humps, then.
Oh. Forgot me letters in the alphabet.
Allahu Akbar. We gave you some first class. How many letters in the alphabet? Said 29.
29.
So it's how many letters of jahr?
18.
19, ikhwa. 19, 29 minus 10. 19. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
What's on your mind? Said Ali.
Now I'm counting because I'm looking at the poem as well.
Okay.
I was looking at the letters of hams.
Okay, count. Fa, ha, tha, ha, sheen, kha, sad. Stuck for the last. Say it again.
Sin, kaf, and ta.
Kaf, ta is 10.
And then jahr would be anything else after that.
Right.
But it's
Exactly.
not just in that line.
It's not in that line. I told you, remember poetry, I can't mention everything in the poetry. It's going to be drawn out. Remember, this is a summarized text, okay? It's summarized. This is why you need a teacher. Everything isn't in the book. You understand? Everything isn't there. That's why you need a teacher to explain this to you, okay? But he's telling you that if you memorize these letters, then everything else is jahr, okay? It's just like trying to give you example from Tuhfat al-Atfal, perhaps. I can't remember a line of poetry or example like this, but this happens a lot in poetry, okay? The scholars, they'll give you the rule, and basically everything else besides this is that, okay? Everything else, if I didn't mention it, then it's included in that, okay?
Yes,
Is
sir.
this clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. So that's one set of opposites, okay? Jahr or humps and jahr, okay? Humps and jahr. So that's 2 out of how many with the opposites?
Say that again.
So we took 2 sifats out of how many with the opposites?
11.
2 out of 11. Good. 2 out of 11. Okay, good, good. 2 out of 11. Okay. And how we're going to do this as well, we have strong letters and weak letters. Okay, strong letters and weak letters. I'm always going to give you the weak one first. Okay. So humps is a weak letter. Jahar is a strong letter. Okay. The next one I'm going to give you is a weak one. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Would it be the weak letter itself? Or, I mean, would it be the weak letter or strong makhraj?
It's good. I think I understand. I believe you. What you're asking me is it a weak sifat or a strong sifat?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question. Yes. If I said weak letter, I meant weak sifa. Okay. I'm gonna give you the weak sifa first. Okay. Then the strong one. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I believe so. I believe so. I believe that's how I did it. Okay. I believe it's how I did it. I believe so. Okay. So just take the. Okay. You ready for the next one? 3. 3 is rikhwun. Rikhwun. Okay. Rikhwun. Rikh. Rikhwun. Okay. Rikhwun. Rikhwun. You mentioned this in the phone, right? Sifatu jahrun wa rikhwun. Okay. And this is part of, again, when we're learning these books like Tuhfat al-Atfal, I said that twice, right? Tuhfat al-Atfal, al-Jazariyyah, okay? Usul al-Thalatha, different small texts. You always have the memorization, then the understanding, okay? The memorization and understanding. It's your 1-2 punch, okay? Okay. So you memorize the book, but you also got to memorize the shar, okay? Memorize the explanation that your teacher gives you, okay? Breakdown. That's why the charts and stuff are great, okay? To break down the different types and things like this, because it puts a outline in your head, okay? So the third one is what? The third sifa of those of opposites are, say it again, rikhwun, rikhwun, okay? Rikhwun linguistically means weakness or ease, weakness or ease, weakness or ease, okay? Weakness or ease, okay? Okay. As a term, when the scholars of Tajweed speak about it, rikhwun is the flowing of sound, the flowing of sound that continues when pronouncing a letter. The flowing of sound when pronouncing a letter due to its weak reliance on the makhraj. Same as is what? Humps, right?
Yes, sir.
Humps was the flowing of what?
Air.
Right, air. Rikhwun is the flowing of what?
Sound.
Sound. Flowing of sound. Same exact thing. The flowing of sound when pronouncing a letter due to its weak reliance on the makhraj, meaning the letter is not attached to the makhraj a lot. Once you hit the makhraj, the sound comes out. Once you hit the makhraj, the sound comes out. I can't stop the sound from coming out. Okay. S. I can't stop it from coming out. Okay. The sound is there. Okay. Esh. F. Okay. The sound comes out. Okay. Once you hit the makhraj, you can't stop the sound. Okay. These are the letters of rikhwun. Okay. Follow me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we gave the definition, now the amount of letters. Okay. Definition, linguistically, as a term. Now amount of letters is 16 rikhwun letters. 16 rikhwun letters. 16 rikhwun letters. Okay. 16 rikhwun letters. Follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 16 out of how many?
Say that again.
16 letters out of how many letters?
29.
29. Okay. Follow me so far?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
So Okay, so that's the third out of 11. Okay? The flowing of sound. So you can remember rikhun is flow of sound, or release of sound. Okay. Now, so he says what? Now, let's get to. It will be more likely that we should go to the opposite of rikhun, right? So that's the opposite, right? All of these have opposites. However, we're gonna give you. We said this has a middleman. Okay. So we got rikhun. It's opposite. In between them, we have a middle ground here. The middle ground letters in between. Okay. So we're gonna go here next. Okay. So number four. It's called a tawassut. A tawassut. We know this word, tawassut, right? Yeah, qasr, tawassut, two, right? Tawassut means what?
In between.
Pardon me?
In between.
In between, I sense. In between, moderate, middle, okay? Middle ground, okay? So the fourth sifa is tawassut, okay? And this is the one that he does mention it in the poem, okay? So notice I'm not going in order in the poem, okay? Because I believe this way is better to understand, okay? But if you memorize the poem, you should be able to remember this stuff, okay?
Yes, sir.
If you don't memorize the poem, then you won't remember this stuff, okay? You won't remember it, okay? That's why the poem is important to memorize, okay?
Yes, sir.
So we almost about to be done. I'm gonna finish with this one, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm watching the time. So number four is what? Called what? What's it? Okay. This is between Shidda and Rikhun. This is the middle ground between Shidda and Rikhun, okay? It's also called Bayina, Bayniya, okay? It's also called Bayniya. It's also called Bayniya, okay? And that's when he says what? وَبَيْنَهَا رِخٌ وَشِدٌ لِنْ Umar, right? I believe he said?
Yes, sir.
Umar. Okay, good. Lin Umar, okay? So, linguistically, tawassul means moderation, okay? And it's the middle ground between rikhun and shidda. What does it mean as a term? It means that the sound does not flow completely. The sound does not flow completely, nor is it held back fully when pronouncing one of these letters, okay? The sound does not flow completely, nor is it held back fully when pronouncing these letters. So if I say like L, you hear some sound of it, L, okay? You don't hear it fully coming out when I say like S or Esh, okay? Or if I say R, okay, R. Some sound comes out, you hear some sound, but I'm not fully going into it. Like if I say Esh, okay? Or M, you hear some sound, M, okay? So these letters are, the sound flows, the sound does not flow completely, nor is it held back fully, okay? The amount of letters is 5 letters. And it's found in the statement, Lin Umar, Lin Umar, Lin Umar, Lin Umar, okay?
Yes, sir.
In this code, this is a code, Lin Umar, it means go easy, Umar, okay? Lin Umar, go easy, Umar, okay? Lin Umar, okay? Lam, Noon, Ain, Mim, Ra, these are the 5 letters of Tawassul. You got me?
Sir.
So you have 16 letters of the Rikhun. How many letters of Tawassul or Bayniya?
4.
Pardon me?
4.
4?
1, 2, 4, 5.
5. Okay, 5. Let's just do this shidda letter, okay? We did the next one, shidda. 5 is shidda. 5 is shidda, okay?
This one is the opposite of Rechun.
Right, exactly, okay? Shadiduha lafzu ajidqatin bakats. That's when he mentions that. Shadiduha lafzu ajidqatin bakats. Ajidqatin bakats, okay? So shidda is strength, okay? We know this, right? Shadda. Shidda is strength, okay? As a term, what do you think what does it mean? based on its opposite, rikhun. Rikhun is what? The flowing of sound, right? That continues once pronouncing a letter. What do you think shidda is?
The strength of the sound,
The strength of the sound.
or most so likely the letter of it when pronounced.
Think about jahr. Jahr is the trapping of the flow of breath when pronouncing one of his letters. Shidda will be what? The trapping of the sound in the makhraj. Trapping the sound in the makhraj when pronouncing one of his letters. Trapping the sound, the trapping of sound in the makhraj when pronouncing one of his letters, okay? Due to his complete dependence on the makhraj, okay? Due to his complete dependence on the makhraj, okay? The letter is attached to the makhraj a lot, okay? So shidda is the trapping of sound. When you say ek, okay, ek, you hear any sound when I said that? Ek, okay? Egg, egg. Did you hear anything come out when I said egg? Okay. Got me? Shadiduha ladhu ajid. Ajid egg. Deliver that egg. Ajid qatin. Aq. Okay. Qatin. Qat. Aq. Ta. You don't hear anything. Okay. Ajid qatin. Bekets. Ab. Okay. Ek. Ek. Okay. You don't hear any sound. It's ek. Got that?
Yes, sir.
So this is the letters of shidda. It's 8 of them. Okay. So he says, Mahmusuha, fahathahu shakhsun sakats. The letters or humps are found in the statement, fahathahu shakhsun sakats. Shadiduha lafzu ajraqatin bakats. While the shidda letters are in the expression ajid qatin bakats. Hamza, Jim, Dal, Qaf, Ta, Ba, Kaf, and Ta. These are the shidda letters. Then he says, وَبَيْنَ رِخْوٍ وَالشَّدِيدِ لِنْعُمَرٍ. Between rikhwun and shidda are the bayniya letters, lin umar, the 5 letters of lin umar. Okay? Follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's 5 out of 11. We're going to stick with that today. Okay? We're going to stick with those, okay? So the shidda letters are 8 letters, okay?
Yes, sir.
So just as a quick recap for this 5 minutes before we end, okay? So I know you guys have to go somewhere, okay? We have 5 minutes left. We have sifats. It says sifats are characteristics, okay? Attributes, okay? As a term is how to pronounce the letter, okay? Sifats, their amount in total is 18 of them, okay? 18 of them. We'll speak about that later. We said it's types. The first type is sifat al-lazima, permanent attributes. They never leave the letter. It's going to be 5 up to 7. Then we have its opposite, or aridah. Aridah, temporary sifats. Okay, we said those 11 in total. Okay, 11 in total. We mentioned those. Okay, then we said the sifat lazima, 2 types. Those with opposites, and then we didn't get to the other type of those without opposite. Okay, they don't have opposite. Okay, those were opposites. We took 5. We took 5 of them. The first one was what? Humps. Okay, humps is whispering, the flow of sound when pronouncing, the flow of air when pronouncing a letter. Second one is jahr, loud, the trapping of sound. I'm sorry, stuck for the law. The trapping of air when pronouncing a letter. Okay.
Yes.
The third one is rikhwun, the flowing of sound, flow of sound completely when pronouncing the letter. Then we got its middle ground in between is bayniya, the letters of lin umar. Sound doesn't come out fully, nor is it held back fully. Okay, 5 letters of lin umar. Then we have lastly, number 5, the letters of shidda. This is the trapping of sound when pronouncing a letter. Okay, and these come in the letters ajid qatin bakets, those 8 letters. Any questions? You have 3 minutes.
No questions.
Okay, no questions. Okay. And then we also mentioned, remember, when we said it was 18 sifats, only talking about the lazim. Only talking about the lazima. Remember, because he didn't mention the arida in his poem. Didn't mention him. All right?
Yes, sir.
Hope you guys, is this clear? Was this class clear or
Yes.
inshallah? Review the recording now.
Yes,
Okay?
sir.
View the
All right.
recording. All right, inshallah. No questions. Okay. Be ready to recite tomorrow. Okay. Don't have too much fun at the party. Okay. Be ready to recite tomorrow. Okay. Be ready to recite it tomorrow, inshallah. Okay. Okay. Let me close the recording. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.